Hey, this is Jill Janus of Huntress, and you're watching The Age of Metal!
Blazing horizons, burning the sky. Can't hold me back from the bullseye. Yearning for heaven, bursting the glow. I'll vaporize this earthly tomb. Writing lines that slice the night and fill those lips to fall. Roll a spear of stars about my soul. Sing up, blaze the sky.
Oh, hello everyone. This is Miguel with DH Metal, and I'm here with pretty much my good old friend Jill Janus of Huntress. How you doing?
We're great. Everything's going real well with the band, and it just seems like we've known each other for years, but I think the first time was Pagan Fest in 2012.
Actually, it was before Pagan Fest because that was before you guys get shipped out to Europe.
Oh, man, yeah, we were just doing a run-through then, like a little mini headlining gig,
Yeah,
right?
that-
Wow.
the one here
See?
before going here.
What would I do without you?
All right. How has been the tour with Arch Enemy so far? I mean, you guys been touring with Dragon Force, Lamb of God, now Arch Enemy. It's a kind of like a different world, a little bit more extreme. How has been the response of the people that comes for Arch Enemy and stay for Huntress?
It's great being on a bill with Arch Enemy. First of all, Elisa is such a powerhouse, and the new era with Elisa and Arch Enemy is just, she's doing great. The fans are responding really well. For Huntress as well, we can see a bleed from their fan base into ours as well. So this has been a very good tour for us for exposure.
All right, that's good to hear. Now, we were talking about a little bit about the security concerns and security things that have been happening on this tour, and I think that happened in Europe as well, or no? And can you give us a little bit of light on what's going on with that?
You know, I think it's a good sign. We're getting more fans that want to meet us after the show. You know, we really pride ourselves on free meet and greets afterwards, and you know, we're a Jägermeister band, Jaeger USA, and so after the show, we always meet fans and give away, you know, some free Jaeger items to our 21 plus fans. But it's been a little fanatic. There are some people that come by and it's become dangerous for myself. If someone's a little overzealous or a little too drunk, please come sober or at least somewhat sober. I've had to be picked up and removed by security. So it's, you know, that's occurring where I'm meeting fans face to face. So I'm just asking all the fans, if you are going to meet us afterwards, please be kind to each other and be patient. We want to meet you all. And also being on tour, they have a lot of security surrounding Elisa especially.
Definitely, definitely. Well, people out there, just if you want to meet Huntress, you know, come over. Just take your time. They're gonna be here almost the whole night.
Yeah.
Now, last January, you guys toured a second leg in Europe with Lamb of God.
Yes.
How was that different, that leg in Europe, to the leg that was here in the United States with Lamb of God, of course?
The fans everywhere are really genuine and very responsive. There's really no difference to me between fans overseas or here in North America, Canada. Everyone is really supportive and excited about metal. What was difficult about the UK tour with Lamb of God is that we had to drive a Sprinter with the wheel on the opposite side, and Blake, the lead guitarist, he was the one driving the whole time essentially. You know, we're very ground roots. We really can't afford a driver over there. Even over here, you know, we have our van and we work our own merch. We don't have a front of house person to mix us, so we're very self-sufficient. And you've got to keep in mind that it's very expensive to tour.
Yeah.
So we know we're still an opening act. We're still clawing our way to the top. So I think in the UK with Lamb of God, it was just such a great opportunity to, again, meet their fans, and we're growing, and we can see that occurring.
And I hear that you guys coming back again next year with Amon Amarth and the guys of Savage Messiah, which are amazing guys. What are you expecting for that tour? I mean, it's a little bit different of Lamb of God, but what are you expecting with, I mean, an act like Amon Amarth?
Amon Amarth, this is a fantasy come true. It's the Vikings from Sweden. I think this bill is going to be one of the best suited bills for us. We're direct support, which is our very first direct support slot with such a major metal act. So that's really exciting. And I think the fans are going to really respond. I feel that we are really very similar in our type of approach, the Viking and the witch. It's going to be really exciting. We're really, really pumped. It's such an honor.
Definitely. Now, I hear that on this tour you're playing 2 new songs.
We're actually playing more than 2. We rotate.
More than 2?
Yeah, if we do a headlining gig along the way, sometimes we'll make a little extra money going back and forth. So we'll do some headlining gigs. I think we played between 5 to 6 new songs just to kind of get them out there. Those are only at our little headlining shows that we do along the way. But for the Arch Enemy and Creator show, we play on rotation about 4. Tonight you'll hear 2 new songs.
Okay, so those 2 new songs are from the new album, the upcoming album number 3.
Yes.
What can you give us or tell us about that songs?
Well, first of all, album 3 will be released in early 2015 on Napalm Records. The goal initially, and I'm sure you've heard this before, when we signed to Napalm was to write and record 1 album a year, and that is happening. When we get back to Los Angeles, we're in the studio immediately, like the day after.
Wow.
So we're in and we're doing the recording all of December, and then we're off on the road again with Amon Amarth.
Now, the ideas behind this album 3 concept, Clit, Bonner, ideas or stories. What is the idea of this album 3 of Huntress?
For me, it's a trilogy in a way. It's not that they're very, it's not a story necessarily. For me, it's more of a spiritual journey. Spell Eater being in the maiden phase. You can hear that on the record. Youthful. The attack was more ferocious. Then the second album, Starbound Beast, is the mother phase. You can hear that we're progressing, the evolution's occurring. We're better musicians. Now here comes the third album, album 3, which we do have a title for. We will announce soon. It's the crone phase. She's old, she's horny, she's brutal. There's lots of elements of death and doom on this album as well. So you'll get to see that perspective. But we're really excited. This will be our best album thus far. I'm very confident about that.
Definitely looking forward for that, Jill. Now, the question is that I noticed the change of the lineup is being changing and rotated. What is the state of Huntress as a band, as a unit, and how that affect the sound of the band?
Huntress will always evolve naturally. It's very organic no matter who we choose to play with. Really, at the core of it, what's such a bummer is that we've been touring so relentlessly that sometimes band members can't keep up with it. And that's really the case. We had to let Carl Wiersbicki go because he lost the vision of the band, and it was really hard on him to continue touring at that pace. It takes a lot away from day jobs, etc. Fortunately, I can go back to my day job and work whenever I need a little extra cash, but that's not the case for all members. So really, at the core of it right now, Blake Meal and myself are the true driving force behind it. We're the main songwriters, and we couldn't do it without Ian Alden either. Now he's the bassist. So it's the 3 of us. And now we have family. Tyler Meal, who's part of Holy Grail, has joined the band, and that's Blake's little brother.
Blake's little brother, right.
And then Eli Santana, who is a powerhouse, and he's so hilarious, and he's so wonderful to have on tour. This tour, Arch Enemy and Creator, and even our festival tour in June overseas, I've never had a more drama-free, wonderful tour experience than with these 4 guys. I finally feel like it's cool. I'm the woman. I should be the only one causing drama, but that hasn't been the case in the past. It really, at the core, the vision is the one thing that is the most important.
Well, that clears things up pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, I was reading on the Huntress forum, and it was a question of someone, and that caught my attention. Have you ever heard of Anne Boleyn of Hellion, a legendary band from LA, and if you are ever been kind of like influenced by her?
I've never been influenced by another female vocalist. Okay. I've only really emulated towards Freddie Mercury, King Diamond, Merciful Fate, Rob Halford, of course. The only female that's really inspired me has been Ann Wilson of Heart. Okay. Being in an occult type of band, there's going to be cross-pollination. Think about it. I honestly, and I feel kind of bad, I've never listened to Hellion. I've never seen her. I'm sure that, you know, there's going to be similarities between her, even the singer of Coven. It's all occult based. We all throw on a fucking cloak, and it's, you think that someone's ripping each other off.
Yeah.
Right now, my biggest inspiration is Michelle LeMay.
Okay.
And she's Parisian, and she's wild, and she's really tied in with fashion. So as I progress, I'm also going into more of a higher fashion direction with my approach and the crone, and she really is truly my inspiration.
Gotcha. Now I hear that is a little song, secret song that you were recorded with a couple of metal heads. I was hoping that you could give me some light on that as well.
Oh yeah, I was on a day off yesterday, and of course my day off is always filled with some sort of event and some sort of recording. I can't talk about it yet, but I recorded something yesterday that is going to. It's hilarious. I can't even tell you about it, man. It's so cool. When it does hit, you'll know, and you can actually call me and I'll do another interview.
Awesome. Well, now to close up, what is next for Huntress in 2015 with album 3 and touring Europe? What is next for you guys, kind of big, besides those two elements?
Tour, tour, tour. Bang our head against the wall, write more music, more touring, and, you know, smoking a lot of weed.
Well, that was Janus of Huntress here at the HML.